Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy C-Note. Let's get right into this one. This might be the biggest relic nerf we've seen so far. I could be looking at it wrong, but that's my gut reaction, is that thieving was super nerfed. My first thing that makes me say it was nerfed is they've put it in tier 5. Typically, it's been tier 2 or tier 3 to get your thieving relics. Trickster, anything like that, it's usually come a little bit sooner in the game. So to get it all the way at tier 5, I think that's an automatic nerf right there. But let's take a look at the details of the relic, and I'll tell you a couple other things that I think are nerfed. So if you take Larcenist, you're going to have a 100% success rate on all your actions. You will automatically re-pickpocket from an NPC. You're going to re-steal from a stall. Items obtained from pickpocketing and stalls are going to be noted. That is very nice. Stalls will never deplete and guards will never catch you thieving them. We are still waiting to hear if this can be griefed or not. For example, if someone doesn't have Larcenist and they come steal from the stall, if it will interrupt your action and you'll have to start stealing from that stall again. Hopefully that's not how it works, and it'll be like Endless Harvest, where even if someone comes and depletes the resource, you will keep either mining, fishing, wood cutting from it. You know what I mean? So we're kind of waiting to hear that. That would change the relic a little bit. It's not going to make or break it, but and then the amount of coin pouches you can carry is increased by 10. So that'll be a baseline 280 coin pouches that you can have. That's really nice. That's going to add a little bit of time to your AFK if you're AFK thieving. If you get the Ardone Elite Diary, I think they're saying that'll max you out at 840 coin pouches, if the math that I saw was right. So there's a lot of ability to increase that, but a baseline of 280 if you don't go to Ardoin and get the Elite Ardoin Diary is pretty good, I'd say. And then on top of that, while you're thieving, your loot is going to be increased by 10 times for pickpocketing, stealing from stalls, and stealing house valuables in Varlamore. That's all pretty good, but that's where one of my first nerfs, the thing that I view as a nerf is, and that's that you're not going to get 10 times on the clue scrolls. I've seen a couple people say that this is because there's going to be so many tasks that include collection logging and clue scrolls themselves, so they don't want to make it too easy to get that stuff. Even if that's the case, I just think that's a massive nerf, that all your loot is going to be multiplied except for clue scrolls. And the one other thing that's not multiplied by 10 is pick locking chests or stealing from chests. Someone in the comments, please let me know what you think their thought process was when they didn't put anything in relation to stealing from chests in the Thieving Relic. It's such a big part. In the Wilderness, you have the Rogues chest. South of the Farming Guild, you have the Stone chest. Obviously, no Isle of Souls chest, Ardone chest. There's so many chests that you thieve from. It's such a big part of thieving. So to not have any kind of boost or buff or anything in relation to chests on the Thieving Relic really, really blows my mind. I don't get it. Now, just one more thing that makes me say this is nerfed is if you look at some of the other relics like Hotfoot. Hotfoot is mainly for your agility, but it's got a huge boost to cooking and smelting. Mind ores automatically smelted, caught fish automatically cooked. If you look at Woodsman, which is mainly for fletching, wood cutting, fire making, it's got a huge boost to Hunter. You're going to have a 100% success rate. Your traps are going to attract animals faster. You're going to get the herb seed and tree seeds, which really even makes it hunter and farming. But anyways, there's nothing in Larcenist that is not related to agility, or not related to thieving. The only thing in there is thieving. So I don't know why they wouldn't have given this a little utility somehow. Even if you look at Nature's Accord, you have the fairy mushroom, so you get a set of teleports, and your farming skill is massively boosted. And those are in the same tier, so that's even a better comparison. They're both in tier 5. Nature's Accord is mainly for farming, but it gives you some pretty badass teleports. It makes your movement around the game much easier. So why would they not do anything else in thieving? Zero. It's just for thieving, and it's not even all thieving. It doesn't count towards chests, and your clue scrolls aren't boosted like the money is. I gotta be honest, one thing that I think is making Larcenist show up in tier 5 and not earlier is they don't want to ruin Abundance. Abundance is still going to be important to a lot of people because it has the plus 10 boost to skills, which no matter what they do, unless there's another skill boost and another relic, which I know they won't do, it's still going to be utilized by a lot of people. That's very important to a lot of people. But if you had Larcenist in tier 2, that would take away probably like 25% of Abundance, because the skill boost, the plus 10 skill boost in Abundance is huge, but it's also making you money at the same time. So if you have a Thieving Relic in tier 2, I think that would take away from abundance. I kind of feel like that was why it was put in such a later tier, being tier 5. I could be wrong there. That's just my thought process because, like I've said, in the past, our Thieving Relics, we usually get them a little bit sooner. So just to prove my point, if you haven't played in the past leagues, in, let's see, in Echoes in tier 2, you got dodgy deals, so way soon. And then even sooner in Trailblazer Reloaded, you would get Trickster in the very first tier, tier 1. So you would get these way sooner and they were way better. I feel like they have badly nerfed our Thieving Relic. Again, I don't know if I'm looking at it wrong. Obviously, this is just my at a glance first impression here. And I will say, it's not a complete loss. It's not worthless. I just feel like it's been nerfed. That's an important distinction. It's not worthless. I just feel like it's been nerfed. And I'll be honest, I've been kind of loud and proud about saying a lot of these relics haven't been nerfed because I've been hearing a lot of people say they're calling it the nerfed leagues. But so many of these relics, like I've showed, have different utility in them. There's multiple things in one relic, which is awesome. But then we get Larcenist, and there's one thing in there, and it's not even the full skill. It's just like 3/4 of it. So it's very, very odd to me. But to put it in a good light, the 10 times on the loot is insane, and this could be a solve for a bunch of things. If you're stealing from a gem stall, that could be a solve for crafting. That could even be a solve for money, additionally, on top of your thieving, because you can sell those. On top of that, you could do thieving in Moral Wreck for Toggle, and you could buy runes that way. So there's a lot of potential here. You can steal from silver stalls, and that could be crafting, that could be smithing. There's a lot of solves that Larcenist does give you, and the times 10 is really good. It's really good. It's really busted. That's what I look for in a league relic, is something that's busted like that, getting 10 times loot from pickpocketing or stealing from a stall one time. So that right there is really good. Like I said, it's really nice that when you're stealing from stalls and stuff, that gives you items instead of just cash. It'll be noted. It's going to make AFKing a lot nicer, and you're not going to have to be banking or dropping stuff all the time. So huge quality of life stuff right there. It's not a bad relic, and it's got a lot of solves, so definitely it could be something to look at. But I just feel like it's been really, really nerfed from our thieving relics in the past, at least the past 2 leagues, like I was showing you guys. So it'll be interesting to see what other people say. That's kind of my gut reaction, just right off the rip. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if I'm up in the night on this one or if you agree with it. One last thing that I want to put in there is being in tier 5 with Nature's Accord. It's always, all the time, even in the main game, even on Iron Man accounts, any kind of account you're working with, everyone says that Herblore is one of the hardest skills to solve for. When you're on a main, you can buy it if you have the money, so it's easy enough. But regardless, having your Herblore solved with Nature's Accord is pretty hard to give up, in my opinion. And then on top of that, there's one more relic that we still haven't seen. So I really think Larcenist has a lot of heavy lifting to do to be a viable pick for tier 5. But we'll see if they change anything in the coming days. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions, because maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But let's get into the Echo Boss that they dropped today. As you guys can see here, they brought back the Grotesque Guardians as the Echo Bosses for Mauritania. And it says that you can get a new 4-tick staff for killing them. It's charged with earth and body runes. And it says that you build power with every blow and shatter your enemies. I've been talking with a couple of my friends, and they think that could be something that's kind of akin to like the Soul Reaper axe, where you're getting stronger and stronger with every hit, and then when you switch weapons, it could reset that charge. So I don't know. It's always speculative when they do these little teasers for the Echo Boss. They're really not giving us much on the weapons. It's hard to tell if it's going to be good or not. A lot of people are complaining that the Echo Bosses are just reskins from the last Echo League, or the last league, which was Echoes, Raging Echoes. So I don't know. Kind of has been a bummer how they've been just rolling out the same bosses that are now Echo Bosses from last year. I wish they would have started the teasers maybe a week later, so they could have given us more at once. But it is what it is, and that is pretty much it for today's video. I really, really, really want to hear your thoughts about the Thieving Relic in the comments, so let me know. Let me know if I'm an idiot. Let me know if you agree with me. But make sure you guys subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow for day 13 of the teasers. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time. Peace out.